Well, it's been a busy Friday already, as you can imagine. They all really are. So much to cover and so much going on. What do we got? 25 days to go until the election, the official election. Like I said, my ballot has been sent in. I did all the background research. I don't like drop boxes. I don't like mail-in ballots. But if we're going to pull this thing off for the good guys, you have to play by their rules. You can complain about it all you want, but those are the rules that are in place. I'm playing by them because I intend to win. Meanwhile, John Tillman is the CEO of the American Culture Project. And the question is, do conservatives realize the stakes in this election? I think they do, but he might have some questions. John, welcome to the program.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Like I said, I don't like mail-in ballots. Neither does any country in Europe. For the record, they make them illegal there. And voter ID required in every country in Europe, not so much in America. But hey, I digress. Look,
I always get a kick. I always get a kick out of we want to copy so many things that are progressive in Europe, but common sense when it comes to ballot integrity, no, we don't want to copy them on that one.
No, God, no. I mean, that doesn't help anybody. Most notably, the Democrats. At any rate, tell me, do conservatives get it? I mean, here's why I asked this: 30 million gun owners won't vote this election. 32 million Christians could sit on the sideline. To me, that's jaw-dropping. These people that have a real stake in their belief system won't cast a ballot? Really?
There's two aspects to that question, and it's a very good question that should be addressed. One is, the good news is there's a lot of people that are working on finding those Christians, those gun owners, and other low propensity voters who are aligned with us on the issues, who should be all in with us in voting, but they're just not. There's a lot of people spending money to find them, identify them, get them registered, and get them out to vote. More than ever before on the right, we're involved in a project in Georgia, another project in the great state of Michigan, my native state. So there is a lot of work being done in this regard to try to move those numbers a bit. The second thing to understand, though, is why is that? Why would people whose lifestyles, whose values are so tied to the policies that are at stake in this election not be engaged? And the truth is, Steve, a lot of people just are not deeply engaged in politics. One of the hardest things for me as a junkie on this subject to understand is that for most people, politics is tertiary to the main life and what they're interested in, and they just don't pay attention. And so they just do not see it as relevant. And we've got to do a better job to share with them that this is an existential issue for them and they need to engage more.
In two states, Michigan and Pennsylvania, I say this to anybody who lives in those states and is paying attention to the program right now. 10xvotes.com. 10xvotes.com is a website and an app that has been rolled out here in the last couple of weeks. A remarkable website. You can go on there, put in your name and address, and you can then search friends, relatives, people you work with that you think are on, think the way you do, and you can find out if they voted or not. And you can say, hey, Bob, you need to vote. You got to make sure you go vote this year. Have you voted yet, Bob? Sally, Sue? The average turnaround on this website so far, 10xvotes.com, has been written up by Newsweek and others because the Democrats fear this. Over 9 voters per person who enrolls on 10xvotes.com is getting it done. That's in Pennsylvania and Michigan. And if Donald Trump wins Pennsylvania and Michigan, well, that's the ball game, isn't it?
That is the ball game, and I have to confess I've not heard of that website, and I'm pretty engaged, so I'm very excited to hear that. We have a fair amount of money we're still spending around the country on voter education, so we are going to fold that into our portfolio of messaging.
Tell you what, John, you can call me on the side. I'll hook you up with the people that run that deal.
That would be great.
It's a Michigan-based operation. 10xvotes.com. You put in your county, you put in somebody, just their first initial, last name in the county. And if you have a street that you think that they live on, you can find out whether they voted or not, whether they're registered to vote. You can figure things out because, look, the reason I voted early, John, is pretty simple. I don't know what's going to happen on Election Day. The car could break down. Mom could be sick. The kid could stub his toe. I don't know. The fact of the matter is we need to get in and get on the board. We cannot be 1 million votes down in Michigan come Election Day. You can't be 1.5 million votes down in Pennsylvania come Election Day, or 500,000 in Georgia, and the list goes on. You can't be down that much. And now the good news is the mail-in ballots from the Democrats are on the decrease, on the decline. The number of Republicans putting in early ballots is on the rise, plus voter registration is on the rise. I think we're in pretty good shape to take the country back, but there's a lot of work to be done.
I think the numbers out of Pennsylvania, you've mentioned Pennsylvania a couple of times. The registration numbers coming out of Pennsylvania are spectacular.
Yes.
Real change in the way the voters there are seeing. So we're seeing some of those low propensity voters getting off the couch and paying attention and registering.
Absolutely true. So what's it going to take to get people, these Christians, these gun owners, these people that believe like you and I do, John, but they're just like, well, it doesn't really, my vote doesn't really matter. Of course it matters. How do you convince them?
What we have to do is speak to people in the language they understand and consume. A lot of people, when they surface skim, they're just not diving deep into the truth, and they're hearing from the mainstream media on what Kamala Harris believes and what the Democrats believe. And we have to break through that media narrative and connect with people in terms of what's happening. They want more of your money. They want to raise your taxes. They want to control more of your life. Whether you like Donald Trump or not, the difference is Donald Trump wants to empower people to live a more fulfilling life, have a greater range of action in terms of how they pursue their vocations and their income, and all of the other things that create fulfillment in their life, whether it's coaching the Little League baseball game or going to a dance recital their daughter's in. The Kamala, she wants to control what appliances you have in your house, what car you drive, how well your toilet flushes. She wants to govern your health care. She wants to come in and take your guns, though she now denies that. Every aspect of your life that is important to you, they want to restrict it. And in every aspect of your life that is important to you, Donald Trump wants to expand your range of control and agency over your own life. That is the message we have to get out to the low propensity voters that are.
And I'm going to repeat my belief. I don't believe Kamala Harris owns a gun. First of all, a Glock isn't even legal for most people in California. It's on the list of prohibited handguns in California. For the record, she says she owns a Glock. John, I don't buy it. Anyhow, John Tillman, greatly appreciate you being here, CEO of the American Culture Project. Hang on the line there, and I'll make sure that we have a way to get a hold of you so we can get information on 10xvotes.com, folks. In Pennsylvania, in Michigan, pay attention. You can go find voters and turn the tide. And this is real grassroots effort, all right? I'll take a break and be right back. It's the Steve Gruber Show.